Welcome to Bunnyboro PH, where we share our personal favorite stories from Reddit each week.
Here's our top 3. Let's not meet stories from Reddit.
Number 3.
I work at a sandwich shop and was getting ready to close at 10 p.m. At 9:55 p.m. the bell rang, letting me know someone had come in. I grumbled because I was tired and headed to the front. A little boy, probably around 7 years old, was standing at the counter. He was wearing a gray jacket and a red baseball cap. I said, "Hello, what can I do for you tonight?" He just stared at me, so I stared back. "I have to use the restroom," he said. Then he ran toward the restrooms. I heard the door squeal open and slam shut. At that point, I was a little aggravated because I was getting ready to close and didn't want to wait on this kid. So I started closing up. I turned off the open sign and went to the back to do some quick dishes, thinking I'd just lock the door behind him when he left. I was getting more annoyed. All I had left to do was put the food away, count the bread, and count the drawer. I finished everything and still no sign of the boy. I put on my coat and got ready to leave, gathering receipts and everything else. Then I went to knock on the restroom door. "Hey, I'm closing. You need to leave." Nothing. "Hey kid, come on." Still nothing. "If you don't at least answer me, I'm going to open the door." I stood there starting to worry that something might have happened to him. "Kid?" I jiggled the handle until it opened. I partially covered my eyes because I didn't really want to see a little boy on the toilet. I expected him to scream, or at least say something, but there was only silence. So I looked inside. The restroom was the size of a small closet. There was no one there. No sign of anything. He wasn't anywhere in the shop. And there is absolutely no way he left. I've worked there long enough that the doorbell is basically a Pavlovian response. You can hear it clearly from anywhere in the store. I went in a little early the next morning to pick up my check. My close friend was there, and we talked for a bit about her boyfriend, some gossip, and whatever else. Then she said, "Dude, there was this creepy little kid standing outside the front door this morning when I came in. We usually come in and leave through the back door." "Really?" "Yeah. He was just standing there, staring through the window. But when I went to open the door, he ran off." "What did he look like?" I asked, trying not to freak out. "A boy in a gray coat and a red hat." "Neither I nor anyone else has seen or heard anything about him since." "What the—"
Number 2.
My family owns a boutique in a large city here in the South. It's located in a very wealthy neighborhood, but that doesn't say much. If you go even a mile in any direction, you'll end up in some pretty rough areas. Because of that, we get a mix of people coming into the store. Some homeless, some struggling with addiction, and others who just seem a little sketchy. That said, we treat everyone with kindness and respect, just like we do our regular customers. We try not to judge based on appearance. However, we don't tolerate begging, stealing, or soliciting. So over time, we've had our fair share of strange encounters. But I think my most recent one was the creepiest. Last week, as I was getting ready to close, I was tidying up the store when a woman came in. I greeted her like usual, and at first, everything seemed normal. She was browsing, chatting about some of our items. It felt like any other interaction. Then, suddenly, something shifted. The vibe in the room turned eerie, so I moved behind the counter to create a bit of distance. She picked up one of our candles that says, "I love you to the moon and back," across the front. I think that's what triggered something in her. She started talking about her family, how she used to read a book with that same phrase to her triplets. Triplets, she said she didn't even know she had. Then she began telling me about her life being married to Ryan Gosling and how she had recently killed him because he was poisoning her and hiding her 3 sets of triplets and her daughter from her. At that point, I just listened. I didn't want to upset her any further. After that, she began pacing around the store again, casually mentioning that she had just gotten out of jail for stabbing someone. Then, she walked up to about 4 feet from the counter, tilted her head, looked me straight in the eyes, and said, "I really feel like chopping you up right now." We were the only 2 people in the store. I froze. Up until then, she had just been rambling. This was the first time she showed any real aggression, and I had no idea what she was going to do next. Luckily, just seconds later, another customer, one of my regulars, walked in. The woman immediately grabbed her things and walked out the door. My regular could sense something was wrong as I quickly moved behind her and locked the door. So, to the woman who said she wanted to chop me up, let's not meet again. Ever.
Number 1.
I was pregnant with my first child in 2001. Right before my due date, I was very obviously pregnant. I was shopping at Walmart when I started noticing a woman in almost every aisle I went down. I'd guess she was in her mid-30s. When I went to the baby section to look at clothes, she approached me and started asking questions. At first, they were normal, like asking about the baby's gender. But then they started getting strange. Was I married? Did we live in a house or an apartment? She commented on my accent and asked if we had anyone in the area. I'm from Michigan and was stationed in Florida, coming to visit for the birth. It all felt a little off. I was young, 20, but I was married, and both my husband and I were active duty, living off base in a rental house. I kept my answers vague, told her we were excited, and tried to end the conversation by wishing her a good day. But then she started following me. She told me her husband was outside the store and that they could help me take my groceries home. That's when I got really nervous. I told her I was fine and that my husband was at home and could help me. She then said they had a big truck and offered to buy me a large baby item. I politely declined, but she became more insistent, almost aggressive. Then she offered to buy my husband a grill instead, since we didn't need any baby things. At that point, I was starting to panic. I knew something wasn't right. I went to check out, and she did too. She left before me, and I watched as she hurried out of the store. Sure enough, she and her husband were parked along the curb near the front, by the vending machines, in a beat-up yellow box truck. Her husband rolled down the window and said, "We'd be happy to help you with that." I declined again and headed to my car. I loaded my groceries and watched them for a moment. They didn't move. They just watched me. As soon as I pulled out, they did too. I got out of there as fast as I could. They followed me for a minute or two, then disappeared. I still drove around for about 30 minutes, crying and making sure they were gone before I finally went home. I'm 44 now, and that was the first and one of the only times I've ever felt that level of fear in my life.
Leave your comment down below. And like and subscribe for more Reddit stories like this.